And hello, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here on my YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you could join me today. We're going to be checking out Logos Bible Software again and just really trying to get you involved in this Bible software, learning how to use it to better understand the scriptures, to do your own studies, to do your own research, and to just really dig into the Word of God. So thank you so much for tuning in with me again today. I know a lot of you have enjoyed these studies so far, and so I'm just going to walk you through the process of some things that I do to set up a Logos Bible software to make it, make it a little bit better for me. So usually when you launch the software, it's on this home screen, and I've literally never used this home screen in my life. I had a couple of things. Let me get my camera better. I had a couple of things that I had started on there. Some different readings and things like that. But I just never really get on here. So when I open my Logos software, let me show you what it looks like. Give it just a second to load here. You know how bulky this program can be, trying to load all of your thousands and thousands of resources. But when I load the software, it brings me back to whatever page I was on when I shut it down. All the resources are opened, all the notes pages are opened, all the scriptures are open. See, it brings me to this thing that I was doing last, which I was looking up the gate called Beautiful, and looking. This is just a basic search, and it shows me all of the things. Pull it over here for you. It shows me all the things in my library and things that that kind of, whatever. All the things in my library that have to do with the Beautiful gate. So it's only used in 9 times in 3 different articles in books that I have. And there's 81 fact book entries. Now, fact book's pretty cool. It's it's similar to the search, but it's a little bit more, I guess, specific. It gives you like a key article, a key section from a Bible dictionary. It has all kinds of media you can pull up. If you have all this available, you can load all this up and take a look at it and shuffle through the various images and diagrams and things that are available to you here. Here's, for example, the bring it over here for you can see, so you can see it a little bit better. It's indexing right now, so it's being a little bit slow, but you can see the Beautiful gate, where the women could go, where the Israelites could go, where of course the Gentiles, the Gentiles could go, and then where the actual temple was. So it's really, really kind of cool setup that you have here in the fact book. But anyways, the way that I get my Logos Bible software to open up, and the way that I do, is I go to the my brain is not working for. Let's see. I go to program settings here. It was right under my mouse. I just couldn't see it. And as you go through here, there's a lot of different, obviously, options for you. Application themes, but here's the one that you're looking for. At startup, open to, and I have most recent layout local. Now I can do most recent layout any, which I believe will open up from like another laptop that you use or something like that, but I've never used it. And so I just use most recent layout any. You can also do a blank layout, so it's just completely clean for you, or you can go to your home thing. I think it's defaulted to home, but I changed mine to most recent layout local. You can also have preset layouts. I have no idea what's going to be in here. Let's see. But let me oh, your layouts are right here, by the way. You can click this little button and pull up any layouts. It'll show you what it looks like when the application's closed. It'll show you what it looks like when like just different snapshots it'll take every now and then, things that it might think that you want to see. Or you can save layouts, like this one's called book writing. No idea what this is going to be. Okay, so I have a my Bible here, and I've got the same Bible here, but just it lets me keep it on a different track if I'm going to look up another passage without messing my resources up. Looks like I've got a search going on. looks like I've got Treasury of Scripture Knowledge, which is like a center column reference on steroids. A Bible commentary, Josephus is there, and then some highlights and notes. So that's a pretty cool layout there. But anyways, you can save your own layouts and program logos to open up in whichever layout you would like. So that's that. Sometimes what I'll do, if I have a bunch of stuff open, like I think I just did it without explaining it. Let me open up my Romans one. Apparently my Romans one was on the left side of the screen. So anyways, here we have Romans commentary stuff. You see, I didn't get very far into that. New American Standard Bible here, and then I have the let's see, IVP Biblical Background Commentary of the New Testament, an exegetical guide from Romans 1, 8 through 15, a search, and then I'm guessing that's New Testament use of the Old Testament. My software's being pretty slow right now, but basically you can, it's a text converter. A text converter, all that is it lets you come in here and select like the manuscript, like some kind of Greek text, whether it's the manuscript or the lemma or whatever, and then you can copy that into your text converter here. And then it'll give you the like the transliteration that you can copy, or you can actually just, you know, whatever is there that you might need, you can copy it. But usually I use this to get the transliteration with the long E on the end for the eta and everything like that. So it's pretty cool tool. Anyways, if you want to close all this out at one time, you don't have to go through here and close. You can just click this, close all panels, and it'll bring you back to a blank slate, and then you can come up here and access your tools. Okay, so that's a little bit about how I got my program set up. And obviously, there's other stuff that you'll come across. One of the coolest tools that I like to use, though, is called New Testament use of the Old Testament. Let me just open this up and show you why it is so cool. Again, when you first open up your software will index, especially if you are downloading the new book of the month and everything. But as you can see, I have 311 resources that have begun to update. So I think I have about 250 left or so, based on the percentage completed. So we're a little slow in completing these. But that's what happens when you have a larger Logos library. Okay, so this is the New Testament use of the Old Testament, and this is one of my favorite tools to use when I'm doing in-depth Bible studies. When I'm getting ready for a sermon or a Bible class, I love to use this tool. And here's what it'll do. Let me make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. You can do this on your desktop or your laptop, and even your iPad or something. You can blow the text up. It's not going to let me blow the text up here. Oh yeah, well, okay. That's just being odd. All right. Hopefully you can see that okay. So you have 4 different types of ways that the New Testament is using the Old Testament, and that is allusions, echoes, citations, quotations. All right. As you can see, there's tons of allusions. Now, this can be pretty reaching at times, right? Like, for example, the record of the genealogy of Jesus. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. That's considered an allusion. So, you know, some of it can be, a little reaching, but that doesn't mean that it's not useful. So it's still a useful tool. And that's just under the allusions. Obviously, when you get to echoes and citations and quotations, you're going to be way more specific. But let's take a look, for example, at one that does not have all too many. Like, here we go, 2 Peter. So you can go to 2 Peter and go through the passages based on what's found in 2 Peter. Like here's 2 Peter 2:5, 2 Peter 2:6, 2 Peter 2:7, 2:15, 2:22, 2:3:5, right? So you can go through that way. Like, for example, here in 2 Peter 3:5, he's referencing the creation of the world here, and so we go back to Genesis 1:6-9. Or down here, he's going to talk about Noah, so he points you to Genesis 7:17-24, right? Or maybe back up here, we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and Noah and all that, and you can kind of get the references that you're looking for here. All right, but the other thing that you can do is sort it by the source. So if you want to sort it by the order that it's found in the Old Testament, like Genesis 1, 6 through 9 points to 2 Peter 3, 5, Genesis 7, 17 through 24 points to 2 Peter 3, 6. Genesis, see, it's out of order with Peter, but it's in order with the Old Testament. You can sort it that way as well. Now, what I like to do is go to something like the Old Testament book, right? Rather the New Testament book if I'm working in it. But I also like to go to the Old Testament book. So, like for example, here we have maybe the book of Isaiah, very prevalent, very prevalently used in the New Testament. Well, it's probably going to be automatically sorted by New Testament, but that doesn't really help you much if you're trying to look at how Isaiah is used in the New Testament. Sure, you can go through chronologically, in the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation if you want to, but the better thing to do, in my opinion, is to hit source, and it'll sort it from Isaiah 1 to Isaiah 66. This way, let's say you want to study like the new heavens and new earth. You're going to scroll. You're going to scroll all the way down, right? And it's being a little funky because of the indexing going on right now. It doesn't like to index and stream at the same time. But anyways, you can go to Isaiah all the way down to Isaiah 65 and 66, and just start to look through these. Looks like maybe 30 passages, 30 references. And so you start in Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 1, and you go, okay, we're gonna look at how Isaiah 65 and 66 are used in the New Testament. And so you see, okay, well, Paul cites this passage in Romans 10:20 to talk about the Gentiles coming into the new covenant. And you look at Isaiah 65 too, and you see how Paul cites that as well. Or Isaiah 65:15, and you see how that might be echoed in Revelation 2:17, or Isaiah 65:15, Revelation 3:12. You can kind of go through here, or like new heavens and new earth. Oh, well, that's the basis for 2 Peter 3, or Revelation 21, right, verse 1, or Revelation 21, verse 4. And so it's a really cool way to see how exactly the New Testament uses the Old Testament. And what this does, it'll blow your mind sometimes because you don't even realize that something is a New Testament quotation, right? Now, I'm not talking about an allusion or an echo. I mean a quotation or a citation. And then you look at this tool, and it starts to point out all kinds of different things that you never even knew, were in the text. Like, let's try one. If I go to 2 Timothy, let's see. 2 Timothy here. There's 1 Timothy. There's 2 Timothy. Who knows what'll pop up, right? Like, for example, nevertheless, the firm foundation of God stands, having this seal. The Lord knows those who are his. Well, then you look over here to Numbers 16:5. Tomorrow morning, the Lord will show who is his. So apparently, in 2 Timothy 2:19, when Paul's dealing with Hymenaeus and Philetus, it's a citation or a reference to Numbers 16:5. This quotation, the Lord knows those who are his. So it's really, really nifty, the kind of stuff that comes out that you never would have even realized had you, not used this tool, or maybe not had a broad understanding or knowledge of the Old Testament, right? It helps us do what the first century saints did, and that is to know their Old Testament so well that seeing the references and allusions and citations in the New Testament would have just been second nature, would have just come so naturally. Like, for example, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 here, if we can find it. And sometimes it doesn't do things that you think that it should do, right? Like, you'll look for one and it's like not there. But this isn't an inspired source. This is just a cool tool that's put out for our use. Let me see. Yeah, for example, I was looking for something a little bit lower than this in the context to see if it pointed back to the passage that I usually go back to, but I don't see it back there. So, anyways, it's it's hit or miss in terms of like what you're if you're looking for a specific resource or trying to remember a passage, it'll sometimes not do it. Sometimes it's a little bit odd, the connections that it makes. But regardless, the New Testament use of the Old Testament is a fantastic tool to help out your Bible studies, right? another one of the things that I like is Sermon Manager. It typically looks like this, and this is sermons coming up for 2022. I've already got all my sermons planned out, and I can see here I've got the what's called our refresh Sundays. I might have to edit these. I think we had to change up some of them, but anyways, there's our like our refresh Sundays for church. We have a guest speaker come in, but I can go through here and find the sermon I'm going to preach. Like I believe that mine's probably going to say, yeah, there we go, February. What's this here? Yeah, this is wrong here. It should be the next week over. I had to switch places with someone, but I'm going to be talking about no graven images on February the what is it, the 27th, right? So that's going to be coming up. But I can look at this and kind of see what sermons are coming up and everything, and then I can even add notes, add descriptions, put the venue, add topics, and search these later. And these will actually create a sermon document for me that I can build and everything. So just really, really cool tools that they have available to you. Some other things that I use fairly often is obviously notes, but I'm not going to get into that quite today. I actually did mine a weird way, and then I learned how to do it the better way, but it's too late, so I'm not going to go back to that. Text comparison's a cool tool. So like here we have 2 Peter 3:3, and you can just pull up whatever versions you want to use. And you can edit the list, save the lists. These were kind of the default ones, and so I have never really changed them. But it's still pretty helpful because you can look and go, like, okay, these words are different, these words are the same. Oh, look, this word says knowing, this one says know. I wonder if the English Standard saw something in maybe the verb tense that it was trying to make more clear. So then you come back over here to your, to the actual Bible there. Whoops. Hang on a second. I'm struggling. For some reason, it clicked over when I didn't want it to. All right. And you can go, well, why did they say knowing in English Standard instead of know? Oh, well, maybe it's because it's the present active. So maybe that's why they put knowing, ing, instead of no. Or, oh, here they say mockers, here they say scoffers. It's kind of a strange, strange switch from one to the other. I wonder why they changed that. And so you can kind of go through and look and see why it is that they changed certain words. And maybe that'll give you clues as to maybe what's going on in the Greek text. So you can go back and check that. And then sometimes you might even run into a situation where you're like, well, wait a minute, why would they put that? Is there some kind of maybe a theological reason that they translated it the way that they did? So sometimes the text comparison can be a real good way to look at different versions fairly quickly. This is especially helpful if you're using a passage or using a version of the Bible that's a little bit odd. Maybe the language is a little bit difficult to comprehend, and so going to that kind of text comparison tool is a really great way to see the other versions and really give you a better overall picture of what's going on in that particular passage. But a lot of these tools that I use, like this, the interlinear tool, you have to uncheck inline or reverse interlinear, and it'll pull up this cool little box down here on the bottom, and the reverse interlinear pane is what it's called. And it's really helpful because you just click on the words and it'll pull up the Greek word behind it. It'll give you the manuscript. It'll give you the manuscript transliteration so you can pronounce it. Even the lexical form, right? And then it'll give you the the person, the gender, the number of that particular word. So it's a really, really wonderful tool. But anyways, that's about it for logo stuff today. If you have any questions about the software, or there's an aspect of it that you want to learn, next week I'll probably talk about notes if I can remember. I'd love to get into some of that stuff with you. But Factobook, really great. I've had a lot of fun with Factbook, just being able to pull up graphics and images and maps and things like that. It's really wonderful. And then I love using the exegetical or the passage guides. Those are real fun too. The passage guides there, the exegetical guides there. I really don't know much of the difference between the two. I think one is a little bit more intense in the Greek than the other, but they're just great resources to be able to really help you break down a passage and get into all the little details about it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to help prep for a Bible study. Speaking of prepping for Bible studies, that's actually what I have to go do now. So I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a great day.